have started another sweater project, and this is one I did plan on starting. So if you have been with me a little while, you know that I just made the stripe pipe sweater, and I will link to my feature video where I kind of take you along with me while I craft that project. My intention of making the stripe pipe sweater was not really for the stripe pipe sweater. I know that sounds terrible when I say it out loud, but the pattern was wonderful. I bought it for a reason. I knit up the stripy version as it is written, or closely to how it is written, so I could really feel out that project from start to finish, and then be able to apply it to a sweater with some patterning, a little bit of color work patterning to it. And I have cast on that colorwork sweater. So there was an intention to that, and the intention was to lead to another project. And I'm just so delighted that that has worked out for me, because we know sometimes the best laid plans just don't work out, and I'm happy to report that is not the case here. Plans are working out just fine. So I am not trying to speed race through this project like I did with the stripe pipe sweater. I'm wanting to appreciate this project as I work on it. So that's where I'm at right now, just in a enjoy the moment kind of space. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on. So I bought this yarn not that long ago. This was right after I found out Joann's was going to be closing. I haven't been back since. I have no idea if the doors are still open or anything like that. I'm probably never going to walk into another Joann's store again. So it's kind of sad, but this sweater is also going to have a little bit of sentimental value to it, because Joann's Fabric is a store that we went to when I was a kid, and I remember going with my mom and my grandma. And my grandma's no longer with us, and so that store carries with it some special memories. Not that the store itself is like any different than any other craft store, but because I have those family memories tied to it, there's a little bit of, a little bit of memories being knit into this sweater. So I have some acrylic worsted weight yarn. I don't mind knitting with acrylic yarn. It has really come a long way over the years in what I would consider quality, in the way it feels. It's not squeaky, like old acrylic yarn. Old school acrylic yarn is different than new school acrylic yarn. I don't have any qualms making things with it. They can be thrown in the washing machine and the dryer. It has a lot of versatility. And you know what? I need knits with versatility, so I like acrylic yarn. Yeah, so this is Big Twist brand. I have black and cinnamon, and I bought this yarn with the intention of making a sweater based on the Robinia sweater pattern. Excuse me. Now I say based on because the Robinia sweater pattern has a boat neck, and I have come to realize through my making, but also with purchase garments, I don't enjoy wearing boat necks. I don't like how they feel, and I don't like how they look on my body, and I've just decided they're not for me. And it's not to say that no one else can wear boat necks. It's just It's not my style. It's not for me. So I knew that I wanted to modify this to a shape that is flattering on me and that will suit my needs. So I wanted to maintain the straight across with the patterning, so drop shoulder seemed way more appropriate than modifying this into a raglan sweater. So if you notice in the Robinia sweater, the patterning goes straight across, right? And in a drop shoulder sweater construction, you also knit straight across in rows. You're not increasing out in the round like a raglan yoke. And so I thought, you know what, that's going to be the best way to modify the neckline on this so that I get something a little more fitted around the neck. It's not going to drag out across my shoulders. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using my notes from when I knit the stripe hype sweater, and I'm modifying that a little bit here for the Robinia in order to bring in the color work. So the progress that I've made so far is not like extensive, but it's good. So I'm working on the back panel, and this is going to be the shoulder, up on the shoulder, and it's coming down like this. I'm at about 9 inches here, which I'm gonna lay this out on my stripe hype sweater. I'm going for a little more positive ease than in that sweater. So I kind of made a big deal in the stripe hype sweater. I didn't want as much positive ease as what the pattern called for. And I love that sweater as is. But if you look at the Robinia, it has, this just wants to slide down. It has a good amount of positive ease in it. So I kind of want to find a middle ground there. But I think I'm to the point where this is a good length for the arm opening on the side. But I'm going to do a little comparison check to my physical finished stripe hype sweater just to confirm that. And then what I can do is come back up and pick up stitches for the left and right front panels. I'm really enjoying it. The color work is super simple. I love that it is a simple garment and just very striking. It's striking in its simplicity, and I find that very elegant. So I'm excited. It is stranded color work, and I'm not catching my floats. And at some point I want to try ladder back jacquard. This just didn't seem like the project to try that on. So I'm just risking it all on having nice long floats here. And I think it's going to be fine. It's working up fine right now. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, it's oh, I'm very excited. I think it's going to look beautiful. So I've made really great progress on my sweater, but I have made a mistake in the color work patterning, so I need to drop back and fix it because it's really gonna bug me. It's in a very prominent spot on the sweater. It's right here on the front, right next to the neckline. It's going to be super noticeable, and I can fix it now and it will be somewhat annoying. And if I leave it in there forever, it will forever be annoying. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna drop down the stitches and redo it. See, this side is great. And then as soon as you come over here, boom, there's my mistake right there. Is this cinnamon stitch should be right there. And if only it were as simple as like swapping these two, but it's not. And I didn't notice it until I joined in the round, and as you can see, I knit quite a bit here. But yeah, so I'm right about to the spot. I'm going to rip back both of these columns here together, and then I will pick up the stitches back up again to realign everything. So wish me luck. I fixed this part. I want to stretch this out a bit, but I didn't quite put this back, so I need to pick up another orange stitch right here. So I just got to go down and grab that. So it's finished. It's finished. All of the ends are woven in. It has been washed, and I'm able to wear this beautiful sweater now. So yeah, I obviously made modifications to the original pattern. Like I said in the very beginning, some of those changes were very intentional from the start and had to be known from the start. And that first one being the neckline. So I did end up coming back and picking up the collar last, and I just did 1x1 twisted rib. It is very hard to see in the black yarn. Let's see if I can get a close-up for you. Yeah, so I did do a twisted rib in the hopes that it would make the stitches pop out a little bit more. It's obviously hard to see in the black yarn on screen, but in person, I feel like it's a bit more visible. I did no body shaping and just knit it straight down, which is what the pattern pretty much has you do. And I did twisted ribbing on the bottom hem as well. I did do is it called Italian bind off or tubular bind off? The thing where you get your yarn needle and you like knit purl the stitches off so it looks like the knitting rolls over the edge. I did do that all along the bottom hem. I also did it on the neckline, but I did not do it on the sleeves. Honestly, the reason is I forgot that that's what I was doing, if I'm being totally honest with you. but also I really don't care. I think it looks just fine. The only thing that bothers me is the end that I wove in is already starting to like pop out here. So I didn't do a fantastic job with that. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, the sleeves, I thought that after washing it, they would come down a little bit, and they didn't so much. They did a little bit, but not a lot. So they're like just the right length. Which I wish I had made them like an inch longer. But oh well, it is totally fine and will work with my watch that I usually wear and everything. So the sleeves are just a tad shorter than I wanted. But I did do a balloon sleeve on it, so because I'd modified stitch counts and things to accommodate for the worsted weight yarn, the different shaping I was doing here, I did kind of have to engineer things a little bit myself. But like I said, I used the stripe pipe to help me with a lot of that. Although I did not do this kind of sleeve on the stripe pipe, so I did knit straight until a few rows after the last colorwork section here, and then I did just regular decreases around. In fact, I spaced them, the decreases, according to the colorwork chart. So at each of these peaks on the colorwork is where I did a decrease all the way around, and I thought that was kind of a nice way to do it. And then twisted ribbing for the cuff. And yeah, I love the colors. I love how loose and comfortable it is to wear. I am wearing it with just like lounge around the house kind of pants for today, but it will pair nicely with some dress slacks and some jeans, and I should be able to wear this out and about and look a little more snazzy than just wearing a hoodie. So yeah. So for the specs on the sweater, I did mention at the beginning I made this out of a worsted weight yarn, 100% acrylic. The brand is Big Twist from Joann's, and the colors are black and cinnamon. I did purchase this yarn earlier this year, and I'm really happy to have used almost all of it up in this project. So I made this on US size 7 knitting needles. I did not modify the size for any of the ribbing. I used US 7 for the entire piece. Color work, not color work, it didn't matter. It was all in the same needle size. The gauge of this sweater was very similar to my stripe pipe sweater, which certainly doesn't match either of those original patterns because they weren't made for worsted weight yarn, neither of them, so I did make some modifications there. The black yarn, I had purchased 3 skeins, and I did use 2 full skeins plus a little bit of the third. The cinnamon, I purchased 2 skeins, and I probably could have gotten away with just having 1. Unfortunately, a couple of unfortunates there. One, I can't return the other because, hello, Joann's is closed. So that's okay. I think it's a pretty color. I will find a use for it. It's not a big deal. The other, unfortunately, is that I forgot which skein I was pulling from, so I don't actually have a full skein. I have 2 partial skeins. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I used roughly 3 skeins of yarn in total to make this thing. And that came out to about 722 yards of yarn and just under 500 grams, like 496 grams was the weight of this sweater. So yeah, that's a good chunk of yarn out of my stash. And yeah, the color work was stranded, and what's nice is that it's in these small sections. So right here's the color work. Actually, right here is the color work, and then it's plain and then some color work, and then plain. So because of the spacing between the color work sections, I did not carry the cinnamon yarn down. So I wanted to. I really wanted to. And I did do that when I was knitting flat. I was able to carry it down along the edge to the next colorwork section. But when I tried doing it in the round, I would see orange blips of it popping through. So once I joined in the round, I did cut the yarn after each colorwork section. So I did have quite a few ends to weave in because I had the end from starting the orange, the cinnamon, and the end from when I cut that to work the plain black section. So yeah, that was not a deal breaker for me, but if you're a person who doesn't like weaving in ends and you find that to be a big hindrance on finishing a project, maybe something to think about. But I couldn't find a good way to carry the yarn, like I said, without breaking it. So that was true for the sleeves as well. Yeah. It's knit top down, if that wasn't obvious from the videos, and picked up stitches along the cast on edge of one to start the other, which makes a slight seam along here, which is kind of nice. Yeah, what else do I want to say about this? Really nothing, except that I'm excited to just wear this. Of course, it's now the middle of May, so it's getting warm outside, so this will not see a lot of wear until fall time. But yeah, this sweater took me 2 months. So I started it March 16th and I finished it May 17th. Thanks for tuning into this special episode of a feature video of one of my recent makes. I hope that you enjoy watching videos like these amongst my regular monthly makes and mid-month check-ins where I show you around the garden and projects I have going on. And I can't wait to see you until the next feature episode. Until then, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and you enjoy your crafts, whatever they may be. Bye!